All right. Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? Let me zoom in a little bit closer so I can get rid of some of my dust there. And slide my camera over a little bit. Okay. I think we're good. Maybe. This is not really shaded over here. This is a color. So it's Starry Night. So it's just how it fades on my grid paper. This is a grid paper that you can earn for free by joining Stampin' Up. And we've had 3 individuals join this month to take advantage of all of the new in colors, paper, grid paper, cardstock, designer series paper, and ink pads, like ink pads. Crazy. Anyway, all right, looks like we've got a few people on here. Let's got Teresa, Carla, Kathy. Awesome. All inspired daisies, I might ask, or might say. And then, oh wait, not Carol Schaefer, but that's okay. You watch me anyway, and that's perfectly fine. And I'm heading to Connecticut on Sunday. So I take care of my grandson. So anyway, I thought our team challenge this week, Debbie F on our team, she's one of my leaders, and she posts a Facebook post every Sunday. And it can be anything. It could be like show us what you're making this week, or use a flower stamp set, or nature, or, you know, a special designer series paper, what have you. So the challenge this week was scraps. So I thought I would bring on to you guys Friday my cards that I just posted this week, actually last night, that I created actually last night. And I'm making scrap cards out of the Flower and Fields designer series paper tonight. So it uses the DSP on both cards. This is just the back side of one of the florals. I think it's this one here. And this I created myself and die cut it. So we're going to do that, but I'm going to do it maybe, excuse me, a little bit differently. I'm mounting this on regular cardstock, the basic white. And I found when I ran it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss, which I have the magnetic plate, you guys, and I'll be using it tonight. It was a little bit thick, and it was too thick. So I had to keep running it through maybe 5 or 6 times to get it to cut out. So I am going to take those strips tonight, and I'm going to adhere it to designer series paper and see how that works, because you have nothing to lose. All right, so we're going to get started right now. I just have one thing I wanted to let you guys know about. I just did a product share, and I have one designer series paper share left. So here's the information if you're interested. Now, if I get 5 people interested, I'll just do another share. So it's $55 if you're local and pick up to me at my house or my work, whatever works best for you, or $64 for which includes shipping and handling. So shipping has gone up. So I just go through it a little bit. And I can't remember the total quantities in here, but it's a really, really good deal. And this is how I packaged them in cello bags. I've got the catalog name, the designer series paper share, and what this is, item number, and where you can find it in the annual catalog, so 139. And what are the colors in this is the vellum, so Lovely Layers and Butterfly Kisses. This is 6x6. It comes 6x6. Here's the in color Glimmer paper, and that's the 22-24 in color. So Sweet Sorbet, Parakeet Party, Tahitian Tide, Starry Night, or Starry Sky, Orchid Oasis. And then here's the Tea Bouquet, which is very, very popular these days. I have not used it yet, but you know I will. And then Abigail Rose. All of these papers are like so good. I really don't know which one to use next for my card club. So let me know in the comments, because I know some of you watching are card club participants. Here's a Wash in Beauty. So these are cut 6x12. And I'm doing that a little bit differently this time. I usually cut it 6x6, but the way the paper is in, see here, for example, well, no, this one actually won't work that way. I'll find one where it's only got a floral image on the bottom and not the top. It's got like blue. So I didn't want anybody to lose out on that floral. So that's why I made it 6x12. And there's many papers in this year's designer series paper that does look like that. Here's Brushstroke. It's got Blushing Bride, Soft Succulent, and Night of Navy. Distress Gold, which is really nice. And then here's another one that's starting to be really fantastic. It's a Happy Forest Friends. Now, I saw this in a baby book album. I want to make one of those. I want to offer that as a class with this paper. It was so stinking cute. So I got to look into that. He's the Man. So that was the most challenging one to split up because we've got the 6x12 paper, but we have all the die cuts. So what I did was I took one side, actually there's two pages of, or two sheets to every page. So that would be 4 paper shares. So what I did with the die cuts, we got 2 pages of die cuts. I just split them equally, equally the best I could. So I don't think anybody got gypped on that. And then Hues of Happiness. This is the paper I'm using for May Card Club. You have less than an hour to join, and you can get that information by emailing me. If you do email me now, I'll just include you and I'll send you the link. So I'm going to be ordering Sunday. And here's Lovely in Linen, Perfectly Penciled, Pretty Prints. Now this is one of them that was really hard to cut. Rose Gold, which is, I had to really protect this one. So this is paper and this is paper. So you can't really see that one. Here's Sun Prints, another challenging one to cut as well. And then Textured Chic. And this is the paper I used for half of my cards for my in-person class on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, which is sold out. So I'm really excited about that. We're going to have 10 people at class, which I think everybody's getting back into the groove. A lot of people were traveling and all that. So anyway, you can email me at inspiredbygraham@gmail.com. Huh, that's wrong. Anyway, that's my website at gmail.com. Anyway, it's 55 pickup, either at my house or at work, or 64 with shipping and handling. And again, if I get 5 people, then I can do a whole nother paper share. I'll be totally loving that. And I love to cut that paper. All right, so anywho, we are going to get started with our scrap cards. I'm going to start with the designer series paper one first, and then I'll start with this, and then I'll complete this one as well. So Flower for Fields is in the mini catalog, which you have until the end of June to order. Actually, June 2nd, I think it is. Anyway, this is beautiful paper. It's got tulips on it, and I know tulips only occur most of them are now gone in Vermont, but very short season, but they're so pretty. That's the paper we're going to be using, and on the inside it just kind of stamped a little bit. And then here's this one, which I'll be using a new punch tonight, and that's how I designed the inside of this one. So let's go over, I'm going to go over some of the things I'm using tonight, just so I am so organized, you guys, you have no idea. And I'm going to do my best to stay organized. All right, so the dies I'm going to be cutting with a magnetic sheet are these. You guys, I think you guys have seen me use these like every single live since I've had these. Okay, there's circles, squares, and banners. And these are the Stylish Shapes, item numbers 159, 183, which I need to put on that magnet so you guys have an idea what the item number is. But I'm going to be die cutting with these. And then these 3 right here, what I did with cardstock, I used the die, which is called Picture This Dies. So we've got some circles and we've got some rectangles here. It was pretty hard to die cut these out. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I think if I mounted it on the designer series paper, it would be a piece of cake. So, and this looks like a cake almost. Okay. So anyway, I'm not going to use these tonight. Maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm more interested in the circles and the squares and banners. And look at this banner I cut out. You can't even tell that these are strips of designer series paper. It just looks like paper. And then here's that little circle. Okay. The stamp set on both cards comes to you. It's called Lovely You. This is a carryover. It's a claim stamp set. Nice. I love all the fonts in here. I don't really like all of the sentiments, but I really like the just because. And love is what makes us family. So there are some in here that, you know, you're my person. Well, I've never really heard that said. But anyway, and I will be using this one here and also this foliage piece here. Now this is, I did a live once where I used the Stampin' Right markers, and you can color the stamps with your markers and then stamp onto paper afterwards. Maybe I'll bring that back to you guys at some point. But anyway, this is Lovely You. And here's the, let me show you the magnetic plate. Now, when you use the magnetic plate, there is an error on the sheet. So what I did was I created a kind of like a label here, and it's got magnetic cutting plate, item numbers 161128. And the plates you need to use are 1, which is this one here, 5, which is the magnetic plate, and number 3, which is our acrylic plate. It said there was another plate that was supposed to go into it, but that was a typo. So I know Stampin' Up! is fixing that at the moment, and I'm not sure if they're going to send us new labels or what have you, but I just used my label printer and just simply put those on there. So I will be using this on Wednesday. But this thing is heavy. I'm not going to lie. And I'm going to get out my, I just thought I would get out my scale to tell you exactly how much this thing weighs. All right. So let me get my postage scale here. This is what I weigh all my Happy Mail on right here. All right. So it's set at 000. It's 1 pound, 10.5 ounces. Now you might think that's not heavy, but I tell you what, 1 pound is quite a bit. So in comparison, this is the plate number 1, that is 15.4 ounces. Okay, and then our acrylic plate is 4.4 ounces. So you can see this is much heavier than our normal plate. So 1 pound, 10.5 ounces. Now, you guys know I backpack. I added 1 pound to my bag last Saturday, and I tell you what, that felt like about 10. So, we will be using the magnetic cutting plate, and you can see it makes tons of marks on it, but it's very forgiving and bounces back. They do tell you to use all areas of it. And you can see where I have used it quite a bit in the middle. Of course, we all do that, but I've also extended out to the sides as well. So this is replaceable. And I'm not sure, I heard yesterday, and I did not check that they were on back orders, but I can't verify that for sure. Okay, so now you guys, this is what I did last night. I created an 8.5 by 11 strips of the cardstock, and I cut this in half so I could actually make that card, this one right here, and die cut from it. But I just wanted to show you what it looks like. I'm going to, of course, cut this and use designer series paper instead. Okay, so this is the one we're going to make. So I'm going to put everything off to the side here. And let me grab my designer series paper. So I know you guys all have scraps, right? We all have scraps. So here's my scrap folder of the Flowering Fields Designer Series paper. Now you can see I have a ton, right? But you know, some of it's big, some of it's like really big, and some of them are just little tiny pieces, right? And they are directional too. So when you're making scrap cards like this one here, you can see that I've angled all the tulips going to the left. All right. So what I want to do is just cut different sizes of our paper. Because right now I don't have a lot of strips. I just have larger pieces of the paper. And then here's a nice little 6x6 pack that I haven't used yet. This paper is gorgeous, you guys. Okay, so let me get my paper trimmer. And we're just gonna cut a bunch of pieces. And it works better if you cut them a little different sizes. Just because it gives you a little bit more, you know, look. So this is really big, but then down here, it's about 1/2 inch, and this was a little bit less. So just give it, something on my paper, just give it a little bit of character. So I'm gonna cut this one maybe 5/8 inch. And I'm gonna cut another one, and I might use this side. Okay, so I've got some strips here. Let's pull in the tulips. This one, since it's a bigger pattern, I want it to be a little bit wider. Maybe I'll do 2 of those. Okay. Right now, I'm just kind of winging it and just figuring out what I'm going to use. Here's another one. Let's get this purple one in here. All right. And then let's find a different pattern. This is my favorite. You guys know that. Let's make this one really small. And we're going to cut this one again. Let's get a little bit of variation of the green and the blues. Is anybody else, I'm not looking at comments, you guys, by the way. Is anybody else doing this with me at the same time? Are you guys creating scrap cards with me? This is super fun to do. And it really doesn't take much time if you've got all the scraps cut. So let me just get a few more. Maybe I'll use this one. I'm going to cut it this way. And let me go this way. Okay, we probably have enough. We'll see. If I need to cut more, I'll cut more. Okay, so what I started with, let me grab my kit here. I've got a piece of, oh wait, I was doing designer series paper this time. Okay, so I have a piece that is cut 4 by 5 1/4. Now this is the pattern that I really didn't care too much about, so I'm using it. You're going to definitely need a silicone craft sheet or something to protect your work surface. I was being lazy and I didn't have it down last night, and my desk was so like sticky, and I did clean it off right before I came live. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to definitely cut this down after, but all you have to do, I wish I had 2 silicone craft sheets because this would have been better. I suggest it doesn't really matter what adhesive you use. I'll probably use a combination of both. So let me get my Stampin' seal out, and I think I've got plenty on here. Let me just get it started here. Okay. So I'm going to just angle this. I'm going to just start in the middle. And it's super sticky, of course. Okay, we want it hanging off the edge because we're going to trim it down. Now all you do is you're going to find strips. And what I did was floral and then like a plain background, floral plain like that. So I really like those tulips, so I'm going to probably save that one. And maybe that one I'll save. Yeah, so this one I'm going to put down. And I like that this got some green on it, so we're going to use some seal right here. Now we have adhesive sheets as well. If you have adhesive sheets, that is something that will be much easier for you to use. But I don't have adhesive sheets, or I do, but it's like a really small piece. I need to order some more. But that way your whole surface would be sticky and you could get this done a little bit quicker. But as you can see, I'm just going to go back and forth adding my paper. So here's a floral pattern. And then let's see, this one is not long enough, or is it? Nope, not quite long enough. So let me grab this one here. Now that one's super long. It's very humid here, you guys. It's gonna be 90 degrees tomorrow. Just like last Saturday. I just don't understand it. And out in Colorado, I think it's Colorado or Wyoming, like it's snowing. Like, what is going on? I don't understand, right? It's at least there's a nice breeze, and I have both of my windows open, and it sounds like the birds have gone to sleep because I don't hear them anymore. But it was beautiful earlier when they were singing, and they love to eat around 4:30, 5 o'clock. So, oh shoot, I put those two together, which I didn't want to do. That's okay. Because I think these two, the purples, are going to look good together. So you can see I'm just taking my strips, taking my adhesive, and just putting it down. Now you could go this way as well if you wanted to change it up. I'm just going to go all diagonal. This will look good here. Okay, and let me see if this one will fit up here. Now it will, so I'm going to stick this one way up here at the top. Okay, and let's see. I've got some more pieces over here. I think I'm going to, I want this tulip piece. Yes. Oh, see, it's just a little bit of that corner, which I don't want to happen, but I think it's going to be okay because we're going to cut that down anyway. Like I said, this was 4 by 5 1/4. I am going to cut it down to 3 3/4 by 5. All right, so we just have this piece down here. Let me add this little strip as well. And again, there's going to be a little bit showing on the corners, and I think that's going to be okay. All right, so now what you're going to want to do is you might want to take your bone folder just to go over it like this, just to make sure you have all those strips pressed down, and then flip it over, and you might want to do the same thing, okay? Now this looks like a really hot mess, which it's okay. We're just going to trim this off. Let me grab my adhesive scissors. So we all have these scissors that we don't really care about, that it's okay to get adhesive on. Well, these are the ones that I have. I actually have 3 pair. So to make it easier to cut this down on my paper trimmer, I'm just going to trim off all of this excess. And it will stick to your scissors just like that, but let it drop down on that silicone craft sheet, because we know that that silicone craft sheet, nothing will stick to it. So it'll be an easy pickup process. All right, we just got one more side here. Okay, So here's all of that paper. I'm just gonna take this and put it in the garbage just to make it my life a little bit easier. Of course, I said it's humid. Well, that paper just stuck there because it's like humid. Okay, so next we're going to take our paper trimmer and we're going to trim this down. And then I'm going to layer it on the rich raspberry. So let's take our paper trimmer and I'm just going to cut a little bit off from both sides just to straighten those up a little bit. Like maybe 1/8 of an inch, not too much. And the bottom as well. All right. And let me see where we're at because we want to be at 5. Ooh, I barely made it. Okay, so now that is 5 inches. This needs to be 3 3/4. So we're just going to put that at 3 3/4, and now we have our panel that we need. So that just really just straightens up the card itself, the panel, and it just makes it a lot better. Okay, so I gotta hang this up. Sorry. Okay, so here's our rich raspberry. Okay, these cards are gonna look totally different. And this is popped up. So we're gonna grab our Stampin' Dimensionals, have those right here, and I'm gonna add probably maybe 8 because we need it. It's a little bit more flimsy than this one and we don't want it to buckle. Okay, so just make sure those are really good and pressed down. And I'll just take my piercing tool. It's called Take Your Pick. And I'm just removing those backings really quickly. Okay. Oh, shoot. I wasn't supposed to put this panel on dimensionals. Oh, wow. This one's going to look different. It's just going to be the opposite because I had, let's see. Yeah. Oh, no. Wait. I did that right. No, I didn't. I'm going to put adhesive on this side because here I put the Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of the rich raspberry. So we're just going to have a different look tonight. All right, I've got the Mossy Meadow, which is really beautiful. And it's just going to get layered right on here. And well, I'm going to use liquid glue for this process just because I have that panel already on the Stampin' Dimensionals. And Debbie, if you're watching, I've got my glue holder. I love that tool. Okay, so this is just going to get adhered right on the Mossy Meadow. Okay. I'm going to let this dry and we're going to work on the sentiment. So I've got a scrap of the rich raspberry and I have a scrap of the white. We're going to use rich raspberry ink, which is over here in my stack of colors. Guess what we're using? Lots of greens tonight. It's so green in Vermont right now. It's just so, so pretty. Okay, so we are going to use the word smile. And I'm just going to stamp it right on the middle of that white. And let me see, I can't remember what we did on the inside. Okay, I stamped the foliage. So that was in Mossy Meadow. So let me grab my Mossy Meadow. And I'm going to grab some scrap paper because we are going to be stamping off the edge. And I don't want this pretty grid paper to get all messed up. So here's our foliage. It looks like this. I've got a piece of white, basic white, which is 4 by 5 1/4. Now, isn't that really, I mean, it's just green, but it's really, really nice green and a nice stamp this is a great set for beginners, definitely, because it gives you a It gives you some prints, it gives you some sentiments, and it's easy to work with as well. Now to punch this out, we're going to use the double oval punch, which did carry over, and I really love that it did. So I've got this little tiny piece of scrap rich raspberry. I'm going to try to punch one of these out, which I think it's going to fit, which it looks like it will. So see that small piece of scrap? I used it and it punched it out fine. Now this white is going to be punched out just like that. And the next step is to adhere these two together. I'm going to use my seal. Let me grab my silicone craft sheet. And we'll just add some seal to the back. And then this gets centered right on that oval. So we are all smiling at you guys, all right? Got a nice little happy face there. Now this piece, it simply can go on right now. Let's get rid of this out of our way. Just add the seal about 1/2 inch to each corner and a little bit in the middle. Let's save our adhesive. Don't go crazy with it because our seal is super, super sticky. Okay, next step is to create the focal point. Now I use this really beautiful ribbon. I don't know if you could see it earlier. Okay, it's right here. And let me just bring it in. People that were in my product share that chose ribbons and embellishments, they got like 2.5 yards, I believe, of this. So it is called the striped ribbon, and it is called rose gold and white. And I think it's about 1/2 inch. Let me just look. It's a little bit more, maybe 5/8 inch. I don't have the package with me right here, or I didn't see where it was on the spool, the size of that. Let's see. Oh yeah, it is right here. 5/8 inch and approximately 10 yards. So it is, like Denise just said, I just saw her comment come up. It is beautiful. And it's like got the glitter in the middle, and you can feel every single bump in the ribbon. It's just so pretty. All right, so I'm gonna cut about maybe 2.5 inches. And what I did was I cut the ends the same direction, okay? So see that? They're all going towards the left. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to figure out where I want this to go, knowing that this ribbon is going to be kind of folded in like that, and we're going to tuck it underneath. I think what I want to do is I want to cover up this area here because it's not as pretty as like those tulips, right? So I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive here. And now the ribbon's going to go down first. I'm just going to eyeball this. Okay, right about there. Okay, so we've got the first layer down. Now, this one is down as well, but you might want to slide a little bit of a glue dot underneath here, or you can use liquid glue. So I'm just going to add a little bit of liquid glue down. And let me just press it for just a second, let it adhere together. It's not like paper, so you can also use a block to give it a little bit more leverage. Okay, so that's looking good. Now, I'm going to add Stampin' Dimensionals to the back of this oval here. And this is where it gets a little funky. I need to add a little bit more underneath the E, because this is already layered up a little bit and it needs an extra few dimensionals. And I'm also going to put a little bit of seal adhesive there. So the E is on this side. So I'm going to layer up 2 of these. And then I'm just going to put one Stampin' Dimensional. Actually, I'm gonna add 4. Okay. Let's just peel these off really quickly. My husband is sneezing. I can hear him. He's now inside. That's number 2. I think his record is like 15 sneezes in a row. Okay. Look, isn't that cute? It just adds a little bit of like sparkle, and that rose goes really nice with all the colors in that designer series paper. Now for embellishments, I'm going to be using a new one, which, let me bring those in. These are really pretty too. And I've got a little bit left over for my paper share, so I'm going to use those. These are called the 2123 in color opal rounds. So all of the new, or the in colors from, say, started last year. So you got your Pear Pizzazz, Fresh Freesia, Polished Pink, Soft Succulent, and Evening Evergreen. All of those colors really go nicely on this card, so it really doesn't matter what you put down. So I'm going to go with the Evening Evergreen. Okay, I'm going to put it over here where there's some green already. I'm going to put 3 different colors on here. So let's go with the Polished Pink, and we'll find an area. Ooh, that might look good over here. Gotta find the right spot right here. And then I'm going to take a little tiny one and maybe the Pear Pizzazz. I might put, actually, I'm going to put 5 on here because then we'll have one of every single color. Put one there. Soft Succulent. We'll put over here. And then Fresh Freesia. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll put one over here. Okay, so that is your card number 1. And we'll put these both together. Here I only used 3 embellishments, but here I added 5. So you get one of every single color. So that is that. They look very similar, but you know, here I used that strip of the purple, whereas on this side, I didn't have it at all. So you can see how you can mix and match and make different cards looking, you know, they look different, but you use the same piece of paper. All right, so let me just check the comments because YouTube will not allow me to go back. So let's see. It is hot. Oh, it wasn't really hot today. It was 78 degrees, and that's my perfect temperature. It was supposed to be like in the mid 80s, but tomorrow's gonna be like 90. Okay. Oh, Kathy's living in a convection oven. Oh shoot. I have AC, but it's not in right yet in my craft room because we're having all of our windows replaced upstairs, which is a huge undertaking. We're just waiting for the contractor to show up, right? He said 5 weeks. Well, that was 8 weeks ago, right? What happened to 5 weeks, not 8? Now we're going on 9. So who knows? All right, I'm making samples to show at the shop next week. That's awesome. Ooh, a scrap gift card holder. Teresa, you need to post that on our group Facebook page, right? All right. We have the Netherlands in town. Sweet. Where do you get the glue holder? Well, I got this from Debbie Franklin. She actually gave it to me as a birthday present, and it's called, there's Flower Bug on it. So Teresa, reach out to Debbie. Maybe she's on here. Maybe if I see her name come up, then I will ask her. Or maybe you'll see it pop up before me. Okay, so no questions? We're going to move on to the next one, which might take a little bit longer to accomplish, but I do know that I need to cut a piece of designer series paper because I did not like how it's too thick to die cut. So I really wanted to show you how I incorporated all of these colors as well. So let me just look around and see if I have, you know what? I can just use this one. We're just gonna use this pattern again. And I'm just gonna cut this down. This is 6 inches by 12 right now. So I'm just gonna cut that down. to 4 1/4. So 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. So that's our standard piece of cardstock, 8 1/2. Well, half of it. Wait, just do that, right? 4 1/4. Oh, it didn't look right. I need new contacts, you guys, honestly. I swear that's half of my problem. I've got my readers on, but I read them or use them all day, and it just kills me. And it's too hot to wear my glasses. They'd be sliding off my face. All right, so we definitely need our silicone craft sheet. And I'm going to pick up this mess over here. So I have more open desk. I told you guys that I am going to be organized tonight. And so far, I haven't lost anything, which is remarkable because you guys know I at least lose at least 20 things every single live. So we're just going to put all these scraps in this little folder, and these work great for me. These are, they are USPS certified, so you can mail these. See, it says USPS approved poly. So this flap here does tear off. I tend to leave them on, or unless I get sick of them, I'll just I'll do this. See, this thing comes right off. Okay, I kind of don't like it anyway, so we're going to take it off. And what I do I have a file cabinet with all my cardstock in it because my craft room gets a ton of sun and it does get damaged even if it's a cloudy day. I have found that cardstock will it just gets lighter, so it's shut in a file cabinet. So in my file cabinet, I store my cardstock in alphabetical order, except for the in colors. The in colors in vanilla and white, and any kind of like adhesive sheets or shimmery white, that goes in the top file cabinet. And then I alphabetize every single color after that. That's just easier for me. I like to alphabetize. And we're going to, we're going to alphabetize our cardstock too. And I'm going to show you how I came up with that. So I love these and they work great for me, but I know you guys probably put your scraps in other things as well. Some people just have a drawer of scraps. Like, I honestly don't know how they can do that. Okay, so here's what I made before last night. It's super dry and maybe it will die cut a little bit better. But let me grab all my strips. Okay, so on the back of our designer series paper, and sorry, this one's cut 6 by 12, but at least I have the label here. If you don't know this, we always have the name of the designer series paper. So Flowering Fields, it's 12 by 12. And it gives us all of the cardstock colors that go with the designer series papers. So for instance, with Flowering Fields, we have Calypso Coral, Evening Evergreen, Fresh Freesia, Highland Heather, Mango Melody, Pear Pizzazz, Petal Pink, Pool Party, Poppy Parade, Pumpkin Pie, Rich Raspberry, Soft Succulent, and So Saffron. So that's a lot of different colors, lots of options for you. So what I did was with this, can anybody guess? I'll give you like 5 seconds to guess. What did I do in this order here? Anybody have a clue? Oh, Teresa, post on Inspired Daisies too, because you'll get 2 entries. One from my team and one from my uplines team. So make sure you always do it. Very good, Teresa. Alphabetical. So I just took this last night and I just went by the colors. So that's what I'm going to do. I did these straight across and I thought, can we do it diagonal? You know, it won't go alphabetical. Now I was thinking of going something like this instead of straight across, but maybe we'll do that. And maybe I can figure out how to get, I'll start with this Calypso Coral in the middle, kind of in the middle. So since these are strips, this paper was 8 1/2 by 11. Okay, when I cut down panels to 4 by 5 1/4, in both sheets, you're going to get a 1/2 inch of paper that's left over. That's why I have so many different scraps, right? So these are still worth something. Okay, so how I did the straight across one is going to be simply the same way I did this one. So it's 12 or 11.5 inches. So I'm just going to trim that down because we might need that one, we may not. In this project, I'm going to use our liquid glue. And so I've got it as a kind of a template, knowing where my glue needs to go. And I'm going to add that down like this, okay? Oh gosh, I hear my neighbor. He's got this really loud car. He's like probably 28, 30. And there's an apartment down the street, down the driveway, and he's revving his car. Oh, and somebody has a bonfire going. I love campfires. I can smell it. Okay, so then green. Oh, he's going wicked slow. I don't think you guys can hear that. I'm going to use seal because it's going to go a little bit faster. So I'm going to go alphabetical as far as we can go this way. And then we'll go the other way. So just kind of take your time. You can actually add your adhesive this way too. And just be careful you don't get it on the prior cardstock. You just line it up edge to edge and be a little bit over the edge here so you know you're going to get a straight cut. Okay, and then this is Highland Heather. So see how we're kind of doing this? 1/2 inch strips. Very easy. Let's try our liquid glue on this one. See, now the liquid glue like oozes out, and I don't like that. All right, let me cap that. And we are going to use, oh, I didn't put that over the edge. Hold on. I think I can do it. There we go. Okay. Now the next color is going to be Mango Melody. It's a really bright yellowish orange. So we'll use our seal here and just line this up and cut it off. You can do it that way as well. Then we've got Pear Pizzazz. I like having this template over here so I don't really have to think. It challenges me and it says I need to learn all of my colors, which I know them all, but it's a test on a Friday, which is the end of the week. Okay. Actually, I think I like doing it this way instead. And we got Petal Pink, which is going to go here. Line this one up. So I'm going to be able to get 2 panels out of this piece because it's 8.5 or 4 1/4 by. No, I'm not. Oh, well, we'll see. Well, I don't know. I actually going to die cut this piece, so I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, this is great. Our silicone craft sheet. So if you don't have one of these, you should, because it's protecting my new grid paper. All right. Okay, that was Pool Party. Poppy Parade is next. Now, this color is very close to Sweet Sorbet. It's very, very close. Okay, and then Got that piece on there. Next color up is Pumpkin Pie. Now, usually pumpkin pie is a color we use in fall quite a bit. So you don't see me use it much this time of year, but you will in the fall. Okay, and then the last color is Rich Razzleberry. So it's just gonna be a really small piece on that corner right here. So then I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start on the other side of the Calypso Coral, and I'm gonna start with Rich Razzleberry. So what I ended with up here is what I'm gonna start with down here. Does that make sense? Just make sure your strips are long enough and that you go over the edge and then just layer it down. Go with Pumpkin Pie again. It's going to be interesting to see if this is going to die. I'm sure this is going to die cut much easier than putting it on the basic white. Okay, next up is Poppy Parade. We're going to use that scrap that we cut before. I'm using scraps of scraps, right? This was the remaining piece from this other strip there. Next is Pool Party. Let's see, find this scrap. All right. Let me see. If you're not a demonstrator, are you contemplating purchasing the starter kit? Because it would be such a great deal to do that right now. You have until the end of May. So May 31st, today is the 20th of May. So you've got some time to still think about it. But with all the free In Colors products, it's well worth it. If you're a hobby stamper and you don't, and you buy quite a bit, you should definitely do it. There's really no commitment. You know, you can join and you have about 5 months and actually longer. I have to look at my chart. Right now I'm focusing on this card, and my brain doesn't think really good on a Friday, but you have plenty of time to get to your minimum, which is $300. And you'll also get to see before our customers the new mini catalog and celebration items. So that's kind of a perk of being a demonstrator as well. Not only do you get your discounts at 20 to 25% off retail, you get the product before customers do. And that's really exciting because you get to play with it before. And first dibs means maybe you won't have a back order. But if you're interested in joining, I have 3 new ladies that joined my team. 1 last month and 2 this month. I know you're watching. So let us know why did you join Stampin' Up? And let us know. Maybe someone out there wants to, but they don't really know why a hobbyist should join. Maybe you guys can comment on that while I'm cutting all this paper off. So I'm cutting from the back side because I can see it a little bit better. And it's really sticky, you guys, so just bear with me here. You guys can chat in the chat box. Let us know, are you a current Stampin' Up! Demonstrator? Are you a customer? Do you think you would like to be? There's no pressure. Like on our team, there is a no judgment zone. And I'm very like I guard that like a hawk. There's never any backlashing or anything on our team. We are a family, and a lot of us, you know, I didn't know some of that. Everyone on my team I did not know prior to stamping. So it's friendships that I like the most about being a demonstrator. And also, I have a passion for paper crafting, and it's something I like to share with you guys. So let us know, why do you like to be a demonstrator, and why, you know, how can we convince you to join? Such a great deal. Okay, so here is our paper. Okay, it's not as pretty as our designer series paper, right? But it's gonna work. So I'm gonna take my bone folder, and I'm just gonna give it one more rub here. Give it some love. Make sure it's really stuck on there well. We're gonna die cut next. Okay. I love my bone folder. I have had it for so long. Like, it was probably my original one I bought like 13, 14 years ago. And I started out as a hobbyist. I wanted paper craft. I had no products. I went to a Stampin' Up! Party, and I think maybe a month later I joined. Okay. Now, I don't know why I trimmed that, because we don't need to trim it. Because we're going to get out our Stampin' Cut and Emboss. Now, I know this is going to be crazy, but we need the large machine, you guys. And guess what? I know this is super close, but we can get rid of, I wanted to keep this washi tape on here because we don't need it anymore, right? We're just going to throw that in the garbage. We're going to open up our cut and emboss. Okay, my plates. Now, if you're just coming on, or you came on a little bit late, that's okay. I'm just going to go through this again. Now, Stampin' Up! On their plates shows us the diagram of how, oh gosh, that's really close, sorry, of how we should layer our, you know, make our sandwiches. Now, you can see somebody in my Parks and Rec class die cut right onto this plate. They didn't use an acrylic plate. Can you see that, Denise? Who did that? Okay, so there is an error on the magnet plate. So they are fixing that. So I'm going to tell you the correct layer. So get your notepad out. You want number 1, okay? That one goes in first. Then I put this little label on here so I would remember. 1, 5, and 3. So what does this weigh? 1 pound, 10.5 ounces. It is not light, okay? I just want you to know that. So if you struggle with arthritis, you know, some kind of wrist injuries, what have you, I don't know if you want, I mean, you got to make sure you're going to be able to pick this up. Again, it's 1 pound, 10.5 ounces. I love it, and I am going to use it quite a bit. So the paper's next, right? Now I'm going to bring out my Stylish Shapes dies. I love these. And I am just going to layer these however I want. We can go straight. Why don't we go straight? Okay. And then we've got some room over here. I'm going to try to use this whole piece of paper and do all these at once. So we can probably put, ooh, that one's too tight. So let me go with a smaller one. Oh, we're not going to be able to do all these, but because there's just too many. You get so many. There's 15 die cuts in this package. Oh, I wonder what this would look like. I'm going to do this. Have you guys ever thought about that? I didn't think about that until like right now. A square and a circle, right? I want this one because this is really nice too. Now you can go this way as well. It's not as, you know, if you go horizontally, you're not going to get a lot of colors. So definitely recommend you doing like more of a diagonal appearance. Let me grab one of these smaller squares here. And I'm going to go like this. I'm going to grab this little banner. See, my dies aren't moving, right? Because that magnet. Maybe, that's not going to work. That little banner and maybe a circle. Can I sneak a circle? Ooh, I don't know. We'll try it. If it goes over the edge, it goes over the edge. All right, so these are all the dies I did not use. Not very many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 out of 15 I did not use. Okay, so we want 1, 5, and this is number 3. So we've got our sandwich here. And then I'm going to push it in. Probably going to have to go through 3 times. We'll see. Go all the way to the edge because those dies are right close to the edge. Okay, that was a big boom, but that's okay. I'm going to carefully move it through and go through one more time. And I got to make sure that that clear plate is right to the edge because those dies are right on the edge of that paper. Normally I go up and back, but you can't because you need to get all the way to that edge. Once it springs, it let goes. There we go. So 2 passes, I think we'll make it. I hope we do. Or else this is going to be a fail. Okay, let me just put that on my floor. And let's see what we've got here. Ooh. It worked, you guys. Sweet. Okay. All right, I'm going to put these back on my sheet so I don't lose them. I'm still looking for one die I lost for a year. It's probably under my desk. Okay, very carefully put these back. Can you see the little etching? And this big one. I'm really interested to see what that one's going to look like. It's going to be cool. Okay. I say okay too many times. I just realized that. It's like too many times. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm going to grab some white paper. Here, let's grab this so we can kind of see them a little bit better. So that was that one. This one's fun. Look at that. Sweet. Here's another banner. Ooh, I don't know about that banner. I might have to go back to it. I might have to use my paper snips. Okay, here's a square. Yeah, that banner. I'm going to need to use my snips. Here's the one I really want to see. Oh, sweet. Let me grab my snips. Okay, so to get rid of, let me just, there we go. Probably off camera, probably, yep. I'm just going to cut this down so I can get it a little bit easier. Okay, so this is almost cut, but it's just hanging on by a little bit. So just take your paper snips, and this isn't, I don't know if it's completely dry. I probably let this sit overnight. But just go right up like this. That's really fun. And that big square. So see how, what I mean? How it's just sticking on by just a little bit. How many of you have purchased these dies already? The stylish dies. I hope they're in the catalog for a good 3-4 years. That's fun, you guys. Try that. Okay. And you could do something like this as well. Oops, go this way. Put that on some dimensionals and that would look kind of fun, right? Okay, let me get rid of this. Now, if you wanted to cut these down, you go for it, but this is recycling for me. Okay, so we have lots to choose from. And I'm just gonna set this, I'm gonna set it over here and work on the lighter side on the left side here. Okay, so we have Pear Pizzazz tonight. Let me find my, here we go. All right, this is a card we're kind of make, and we'll see what we could, what we get. So this is Pear Pizzazz, like I said, and it's 8.5 by 5.5. I've already pre-scored it with my Stampin' Cut and Emboss, not my Stampin' Cut and my Stampin' Trimmer, and I'm gonna just burnish it. This is gonna be a horizontal card, so that's gonna be layered like that. And then I have the Flower and Fields, which is 4 by 5.25. I like my dark images to be on the bottom of the paper rather than the top. That's just a personal preference of mine. But you put it on how you like it. We all have different preferences, that's for sure. Okay, so then make sure our card's opening the correct way. You don't want it on upside down. Again, 4 by 5.25. Okay, now you're gonna just decide what die cut do you want to use. And we're gonna use this punch as well. So what I did was kind of just layered these out and just kind of figured out, you know, what's gonna look good. We're going to be using the punch as well as the sentiment. You just kind of have to go with it. And since this one is a little bit different, maybe we can, I feel like it's going to be like this kind of abstract card, right? Like chaotic kind of mess. But right now, I'm just going to figure out, I want to show that ribbon off as well. So, I don't know. I want the darker sides. I know I want to use this triangle because I used it over there. But I kind of wanted to use this too. These are going to be on Stampin' Dimensionals. So let's put those on Stampin' Dimensionals right now so we can kind of get an idea of the dimension. We won't remove the backings yet. Now, I want this circle to be higher, so that means we have to stack them one on top of the other. So we've got one Stampin' Dimensional on, and then I'm going to put another one right on top. So we've got 2 of those, so double the height. And if I go straight, it would look like that. Let me get my sentiment stamped, okay? So we've got, and then we'll go for it. We've got our white, which is a scrap, and I've got this foliage. I apologize, it's on a huge block, but my blocks are on different, I've got 3 different classes going on right now, so I have them scattered throughout. Wildly Grateful is what we're going to stamp. That's going to be stamped in Evening Evergreen. And then I'm going to choose Pear Pizzazz for the foliage. Let's see, we want to stamp off as well, so let me grab my scrap paper here. So stamping off means we stamp once, and then our second generation is just going to be a little bit lighter than our first generation. You can also go third generation and get a much lighter image as well. I'm going to go with second generation ink, so we ink that up again. We're going to stamp off onto our scrap, and then I'm going to stamp on the white at an angle. Okay, then you want a darker ink color so that your sentiment will pop a little bit over that Pear Pizzazz. So that's why I chose the Evening Evergreen. And Wildly Grateful right here. And then I'm just going to stamp right over top. It's a little tiny bit crooked, but that's okay. Maybe I can fix that when I actually let me grab. We're going to do a little bit more stamping. We're going to create the inside panel as well, which I had like this. Okay. So again, we're going to do a bunch of stamping off. Oh, shoot. I did Evening Evergreen. Let's see what that looks like. Nah. All right. I need to clean that. Hold on. Got my Stampin' Scrub. How am I doing so far, you guys? Any better? I hope so. I'm going to close this or put this off to the side. Again, we're using that Pear Pizzazz, which is the same color as the cardstock, the base. So stamp off and then stamp on our panel. Again, this is much more stamping than we normally would do, but I'm just kind of trying to show you how you create a background color. Okay, I might just use 4 this time. Maybe 5. 5's our odd number. Okay, so we've got that kind of like floral background, foliage background, I mean. And let me close that one up. And I think I use Evening Evergreen again. So this is one of my favorite sentiments. Love is what makes us family. So we're just going to stamp right in the middle, kind of where those stems line up. And you don't really see now the stems not lining up perfectly, right? You still have some area to write your message. I should have probably stamped this a little bit higher to the top, but that's how it goes. We can actually add this layer to the inside of the card right now. So we'll just do that. A little bit of seal. It's getting late. Sorry. Okay. Again, this is 4 by 5 1/4. Kind of your standard A2 size panel for the inside. Okay. Then we're going to wrap the ribbon around. Now, we have some fabulous sparkly ribbon in the annual catalog. So let me just grab, let's see, I want to use the green. Parakeet Party. Like, these are cool names, right? Parakeet Party. So I'm going to wrap this. I wrapped this one 4 times, so I'm only going to wrap this one 3 times. I think 4 times was a little bit too much. So what I did with this, I used my Scotch tape. And I know like that focal point's going to go right in about this area, so I'm just going to tape this down. I don't feel like over time, if you use just your regular adhesive, it won't like last long. So the only thing you have to be careful about, this is 1/8 of an inch, is that you make sure you keep it flat on the inside. Okay, so just go slow. And on this side here, I'm creating a V. And over here, and then I'm going to come down in the middle, and then, oops, I gotta start over because the inside was twisted. Okay, I'm trying to show you on camera, but it's very, very hard to do this. Okay, without like being in your face. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, perfect. So now I'm going to take another piece of that tape and tape that final layer there. And now I'm just going to take my paper snips to snip this off. You can still move these around. So feel free to do that. You can put them a little bit closer. And over here, you can make them a little bit further apart. Okay. All right, so that is the front. Now let's bring in our pieces I think we're going to use. Oh, shoot, the tape. I didn't even think about that. I wonder, I'm going to stack up. I'm going to try it. I'm going to double stack. I'm going to put 6 Stampin' Dimensionals. It's the same circle that I die cut out of that square, but if we put it a little bit higher, maybe it will look pretty good. We won't know until we try, so let's give it a shot. If not, then we'll figure something else out. Okay, so double stacked, and we got to peel those off. Okay, so now this is the same piece. I'm just setting it there just so I can figure it out. Okay. Now we're going to take that new punch. This was on my very first order, my pre-order, lasting label. It's number 158651. I should have put the price on there because I don't know it, but it is a bundle in our catalog. Look at this. This is so easy, right? It's very decorative. And look at that. Like, so easy. It's so much easier than a die cut. Okay, so now, all right, might need a voting contest. We either use that square or we have all these bits and pieces from some others. Okay, so if we use the banner, that was kind of cool. The paper's going in different directions. If we go like this, and then maybe put, I want to show that paper. Oh, wait, if we go like this, and then this. Oh, what do you think? I got to pop up that sentiment. I think this is going to work. I'm going to probably go with this. Or yeah, I think I'm going to go with this, folks. It's different. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yes or no? This, or try to make something with the double pop-up? I think that needs to go like this. If I'm going to use that square and then turn it this way, I think that's better. The other banner I have is a really small one. So if we take that larger one out and place this one down, again, it will be popped up. I don't think it works, right? It's just too small. I didn't even let you guys look at it. So if we go like this and then add this somehow, okay, so like that, or I'm thinking a different angle. No, it's got to go this way. Okay, so let's put this on. We know this is going on the bottom. Okay. I said okay again, you guys. Somebody tell me stop saying okay. Now, this one is going to get popped up too. So that means we have to have one in here and one over here. I'm going to try to bypass the one in the middle to see if we can get away with it. I want this, let's see, yeah, I want it on this side. I'm not pressing that down yet. Then dimensional's just in the middle. It's a lot of dimension, you guys. Honestly, you can't see it, but I'll show it to you. I'm going to go with this. Okay, so we want to press that one down. Okay, then we're going to take these off. We're going to bling it up. Don't you worry. And this one goes straight. Okay. So far, see, isn't that really pretty on the inside? If you do that, your ribbon wrap on the inside, you get to get a full effect. You can also put like a gift card holder or a gift card underneath that ribbon too. Just put a little bit of, I don't have a gift card, do I? Let me see. No, I think I used my last one. But so pretend this is a gift card. You just put a little bit of adhesive on the back side and slide this under and push it down. Then this kind of can hold your gift card, right? I don't know, just a thought. Okay, that is good and golden. Now, if you really want to get crazy, you could add one of these on the inside too, if you want to bring that theme in here. I don't know. We'll go with this. Now, the new embellishment I'm going to be using for this card is way over here. It is called Fun Flowers. Okay, they look like, let me put it on this white. Can you see it? It's all of the 22, 24, well, and I think, no, it's a mix of ink colors, but super fun. I'm not going to use the blue because I don't have any blue stripes in here, but I will use the greens, the purples. We got that pool party. We're just going to use one of every color. So we got to bling up this side because it's kind of just a open space. So let's add one that has some color. And I'm put it right on the middle of that kind of section there where all those lines meet the corner. And then let's put, it's going to be a dark one over here. So let's try, or maybe this green, Parakeet Party. Oh, I think that's too, let me try the blue. I don't know what blue this is. It's one of the new ink colors. Okay, so that one, I got to learn this more, you guys. So much to learn. The yellow one is going to go, I don't want it there. I'm going to put it over here. So we got blue, Fresh Freesia. I'm going to put this one right there. So what color are we missing? It's the green. Trying to look for my triangles. I want to put it up here. Let's just going to put it right on that pool party. All right. I think we're done with this one, you guys. All right. So let's put these all together. Let me get rid of these Stampin' dimensional backings. So I have lots of scraps to use. Maybe I'll use those on some future projects. So this one's more fun than this one, I think. You guys can let me know. I know it looks differently like on camera than it does for me. And let me find those other two cards. And let's see if I can put these on here. Slide it up a little bit. Okay, there we go. Can you see? I don't want to go out. Okay, so those are the cards we made tonight. Scrap cards. I'd love to see what you guys make with your scraps. You certainly can send me a picture but to my email address, which is inspiredbygraham@gmail.com. Or you can go to my Facebook page, which is Inspired by Graham, and post one there. I would love to see what you guys make with your scraps. So just to recap, I do have that one designer series paper I would love to sell. It's extra. And if I do get 5 people that would like this, I will do a new paper share. So it's $55 if it's a local pickup at my house or at my work, or $64 to ship it. And it's all packaged up. I'll go through real quick. Lovely layers, butterfly kisses, in color glimmer, tea boutique, Abigail Rose, a wash in beauty, brushstroke, distress gold, happy forest friends, he's the man, hues of happiness, that's my card club, lovely in linen, perfectly penciled, pretty prints, rose gold, sun prints, and finally, texture chic. So if you're interested in this, let me know. You can email me at inspiredbygraham@gmail.com. That's all I have for you guys. You have a fabulous weekend. It's going to be hot. Make sure you take care of yourself. And if you're out west, I'm so sorry it's snowing out there. You guys take care and be well. And I will try to be with you on Monday. I'm not quite sure. I'll be returning from Connecticut, and I really don't know what time I'll be getting home. So if you don't find me live on Facebook, that is the reason why. All right, you guys, have a great weekend and have some fun.